ever noticed with these tell-all shows on television, you know, the ones that say, we're going to go behind the doors and tell you the truth, exactly what happens, how things are created, you know, that type of thing. And you think, oh, right, really? And then the voiceover says, doesn't it, you know, we spent a year with this company and, you know, no holes were barred. We could go anywhere, ask anything, etc. Well, as ever, we expose the truth behind those particular stories. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you today. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me. Nice to have your company. What I find strange about these, and I'm sure it's the same in your part of the world, there are big brands that we've loved for years that are still really clinging on by their acrylic nails, as it were, you know. They rely on you and me to go in there, but a lot of the time, I don't know if you find this, you simply can't afford it. That's the same now with Marks and Spencer's, you know. I used to shop at Marks and Spencer's on a regular basis, but everything's now so tacky, like their shirts with buttons hanging off, badly tailored, you know, because of course they're all outsourced. They're not made in Great Britain anymore. The ties are dire. They're absolute things that you look at, you think, why on earth would you buy this? Now, of course, recently over on the commercial channel ITV, they spent a year-long time going behind the scenes about how exactly Marks and Spencer's is going to be influencing, yes, that's right, influencing people coming back to the store, the next generation of shoppers. And you can just see how badly this is put together. You know, one of their heads of marketing has decided to employ Tommy Fury. Nothing wrong with him. Very competent boxer, very popular, huge Instagram and social media following. They kept hammering this point home. And what they hope, of course, was that Tommy's social media following would in fact then follow him into coming into Marks and Spencer's. Clearly, he wasn't a shopper at Marks and Spencer's, so they stuck very wisely with a food item of him making a steak. Had to be healthy, that sort of stuff. But even he admitted on camera he had no idea what he was doing. Yeah, that bad. But what is interesting, and this is what I always like to point out to everybody who watches the show, we tell you the truth. The real reason why ITV were picked with this is because they were offering a very favourable review of said production, said company, Marks and Spencer's. The reason why? Quite simply, because they also wholly sponsor another show on that channel called Cooking with the Stars. And when I say wholly sponsor, they pay everything. They supply the food, the kitchens, and of course the fees for the celebrities. So you understand now why ITV were never going to be revealing anything damaging about, you know, Marks and Spencer's and their brand new rebrand. Absolutely not. You see, the whole point of it is it's a puff piece and it goes over 6 weeks and it's an hour a week, and literally it's an advertorial dressed up as a documentary. But what they're trying to do is to convince you and I, the great British public, international visitors and tourists, that next time you're in town and you spot this brand, you're certainly going to go in and spend some money. But sadly, looking at the ratings, it's doing anything but. So was this a good idea, even though it was for free? And would it convince you, as is with all stores around the world, with this type of puff piece, would it make you now go in and spend any money? Or is this also a documentary of disaster? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.